Welcome back to another episode of Azrael Reacts. I'm your boy Azrael, and today we are getting right back into this American Indians versus everybody, because American Indians slash FBAs is putting everybody on fucking notice. Like, everybody is on notice, bitch. All of y'all. So for those communities out there like, oh, why is black Americans only going after Africans? Why aren't they going after Asians? Why aren't they going after this? Why aren't they going after... Bitch, we are coming after y'all also. See, y'all like to run this. Y'all love doing this. But y'all not paying attention to what we're actually doing. This boycott isn't just for Africans, buddy. It's for everybody. It's just some fucking Africans wanting to speak up, and now y'all want to do the same, so we gonna let y'all know. Trust me, y'all can be lying straight the fuck up with them. This is not just for them. The prerogative is, if it's not black owned, if it's not FBA owned, American Indian owned, fuck you. We gotta put y'all on notice like this though, because the disrespect is real from all communities towards the black community. The disrespect is super real. And it's really pissing me off that the AU is really trying to push this reparational thing. Get the fuck out of here. That shit's not coming back to us. Shut your fucking mouth. It does not deserve to go to Africa. But let's go ahead and hop into these videos, because I've talked enough and I'm not trying to talk too much. So, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe, because every little click helps, and we thank you guys so much over here at Azrael Reacts. Let's go ahead and get into some of these videos.
I am not one of those super duper accepting black people. I gatekeep blackness like crazy. Like, your dad is biracial and your mom is white. Yeah, no, you gotta go. You're not black. You're white. You're white with a little bit of black in you. No, sorry. No. No.
The purpose of Ebonics is to not be understood. Don't call it AAVE because they're trying to lay claim. The purpose of TUT is to not be understood. Do not explain it on the internet. Do not let them speak for long on your panels. Check them like they try to tell us you can wait. And do not explain the purpose of our flag. Do not even name it for them. Let it be gibberish.
In 2023, AU linked up with Comic-Con, and together they came up with a global reparations fund. CARICOM works to push for reparatory justice on behalf of Caribbean nations. These are the 15 nations that they represent. The Global Reparation Fund was officially established during the Accra Reparation Conference held in Ghana in 2023. It is officially based in Africa under the oversight of the AU and CARICOM. Yeah, that sounds like a scam. So to make a long story short, AU and Comic-Con won Black American, Black South Americans, and Black Caribbean reparations to go to this one fund that's in Africa to build Africa by 2063. If you disagree with what the AU is doing, sign these petitions. And if you already signed these petitions, get somebody else to do it.
I can say wholeheartedly, as an African American who worked alongside, or excuse me, as a BHT, for those who don't know what that means, is behavioral health technician, right? Where I take vitals, do one-on-ones, help turn down the service. It's basically a glorified CNA. They ain't no more important. A behavioral health technician is a glorified CNA. Okay? We just don't deal with actually we did deal with the elderly. Not too many, but we did. People of all ages. Anywho, in my time as a BHT, I can say the worst people the people that treated me the worst were not people, but the subcategorical group of people, because it wasn't all Africans that treated me bad. In fact, some of the best people, the people that treated me the best were Africans. But then you have those one-off situations where they quite literally cannot tame their hatred for you. Let me make it perfectly clear. The Africans that are full of self-hate make it so bad for the Africans that actually are loving and genuine, because there was a lot of them that were actually loving and genuine during my time at Oasis Behavioral Health. There was a lot. I got switched off of a unit where one of the nurse practitioners, whose name was Miriam, she was bullying the African Americans, and she told me to my face that African Americans are lazy, and basically tried to discredit my mother's credentials, because I didn't know her specialization at the time. I don't fucking go to work with her, bitch. How would I know her specialization if I'm not there with her? I also wasn't there when she was in school. You know what I mean? Like, that's how something that I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't give a shit. Long as she got the white coat, I was cool. So she basically tried to call me a liar and was like, your mom's not a doctor, your mom's not da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, girl, okay. My mom actually had to intervene. Like, the bullying got so bad with the nurse Miriam at Oasis Behavioral Health here in Arizona that my mom had to intervene. And she intervened through at the prison she worked at, there was a nurse that was underneath her. Not underneath, but you know what I mean? Like, they work with you. They work alongside you. And that was like her assigned nurse. I didn't know that was a nurse. That was her nurse that worked with me, that I worked underneath at the different hospital. She had 2 jobs. So when I was having a conversation with this lady, she was like, what's your mom's name again? I don't know of too many Dr. Gays. Like, that's not a common name. And she was like, actually, you kind of look like her. I was like, yeah, that might be my mom. Do you work at the prisons in Florence? She was like, yeah, that's your mom. I was like, yeah, I have the same name as her. She actually came downstairs. The white nurse, Nicole, came downstairs and she was like, I see a Maureen Johnson on my roster. And she was like, I thought you were your mom, because she went under Dr. Johnson and she changed it to Dr. Gay. I was like, yeah, that's my mom. And she was like, yeah, I just wanted to say hi, how are you? If you need anything, I got you. This is the white nurse. So she comes down and she was like, I heard about what's going on down here. Is somebody messing with you? I said, yeah, that nurse over there, Miriam, for whatever reason, she like hazing me. I'm telling you, the most hatred I felt came, like, it was worse than the way like white people hate me. It was worse than the way that white people hate us. I'm telling you, a lot of them been on this. And what I say all this to say, even though my mom intervened and indirectly intervened in that situation, and Nicole had to let her know, like, leave her alone, because her mom will clock in here and you will end up losing your job, girl. I'm telling you, her mom will clock in about her. Leave her alone, okay? Matter of fact, I'm gonna switch her unit, so you leave her alone. Imagine if I didn't have my mom. Imagine how many African Americans have been talking about how they've been being treated at their job, at the place where they gotta make their money. Imagine having to go through that on a daily basis and not have anybody to protect you. I'm telling you, if you experience this, whether you're a patient or you work alongside them, immediately report them to the board. Because what ends up happening, don't tolerate it. Immediately report them to the board. Immediately, I'm talking immediately report them to the board. Because what happens is, upon impending investigation, it stops their money. It stops their bag. Start showing them exactly what the fuck they need to see. That your time here is just as fragile as anybody else's. You can go. You know how insane you fucking sound coming over to America and complaining about the African Americans here that built the system that you're currently eating off of? You know how dumb you look being on live complaining about African Americans? It's literally biting the hand that is currently fucking feeding you. That's exactly what that is. Look it up. My ancestors built this system. Carved the pathway, held the door open, propped that bitch open so that you and yours could also eat too. Only for you to get on live and start talking shit about the people that you treat and laughing and joking about not treating them well. That's why you lost your job. And now that video is global, which means the likelihood of you getting another job in the medical field is slim to none. Because guess what, baby? They didn't want to hire your ass anyways. They don't want to hire your ass anyways. They didn't want to give you those credentials anyways. And they're all too happy to keep a dime in their pocket. I'm not sure what America you thought you was in. But you going and got the game fucked up. Like I said, it was a lot of Africans that worked at the same place as me that treated me exceptional. But the ones that are full of hatred, self-hatred at that, they are ruining it for everybody else. And what's going to happen is the door's going to be locked. The door's going to start being locked. The door's going to start being locked. Y'all not going to be able to get in. And you won't have African Americans to advocate for you. You won't have anybody to speak up on your behalf. Because what's going to happen is y'all going to be locked out of those places and spaces, and you'll all end up being all for the people that don't know how to put their hatred aside. The door's going to start being locked for everybody. I genuinely believe that this is not a one-off situation, that there's a large group of them. And it's not just in the medical field, it's in almost every single industry in America. Which is exactly why y'all saw the reaction y'all saw about Essence Fest. These are the same people trying to tell us what our culture is and saying that we don't have culture. And then when we show our culture that our ancestors brought over here and how we metamorphed it into what we could after going through the transatlantic slave trade, these are the same people that will then disrespect our ancestors while simultaneously eating off of our ancestors' work. Insanity. And I hope you know that the white people that you're trying to impress are looking at you like you a fucking fool. Looking at you sideways. Yeah, they talk shit about you behind your back to us and laugh like, oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe them people would do that. Yeah, them same people, them same white folks that y'all be trying to impress will come talk shit about you to us.
I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, these African Americans really do think that they're us. I'm going through all these comments and you see a whole bunch of Africans saying, yeah, go ahead, boycott us. Y'all should have been doing this all year. Why wait till August when you can start now? Y'all really think that y'all are the indigenous. Y'all really do think that y'all are the Black Americans for y'all to be this bold saying, we don't care. And then on the same side of that coin, say, well, the Africans are the only one keeping us in business anyways. So then why y'all don't go back to Africa to run your fucking businesses then? And just to add insult to injury, yes, it might be true that the Black Americans do not help keep you guys in business. But the loans that you guys are getting in order to come over here and open up a business, that's Black American money. The land that you guys are putting your business on, that's Black American land. So either way it goes, bitch, you're here off of Black Americans. Y'all better tread fucking lightly.
But hey, it's not surprising that after centuries of psychological propaganda to devalue and degrade Africa, that its descendants would want to distance themselves. We see it in skin bleaching, colorism, all aspiration to European beauty standards. But let's make something abundantly clear. For all the legitimate points of disagreement, Africans are not the enemy.
I ain't never heard nobody get in a car and say, yo, put that Vic Mensa on. Ever. Welcome to the cookout. Nobody, I mean literally nobody, asked Vic Mensa to chime in on anything. I respect you for saying that we have culture, but one thing you do need to understand is, once again, we are not African, nor are we FBA. Y'all are grouping FBA with everyone, and that's not who we are. Some of the melanated people on this continent want to call themselves FBA. Cool. Other melanated people on this continent know their genealogy, know their ancestors, know where they came from. Me, myself, I have certificates of proof of my indigenous descent. I have tribal ID cards, tax exemption cards. I mean, numbers from the IRS. Even this land knows that the brown people in this land are the indigenous peoples of the Americas. You Africans literally just come over here as immigrants in waves of hundreds of thousands, millions, and then think that we're the same, copy our styles, do everything we do, take our looks, then run back to Africa and giggle with the rest of the desert babies. It's crazy.
How come nobody wants to acknowledge the Black indigenous erasure but can acknowledge the Black Egyptian erasure? No, because when black people in Egypt show you, oh yeah, not them pyramids that was over here, been over here for thousands of years, and they were built by us. Like, yeah, shit, we believe. We got ancient pyramids and mounds and things over here throughout the Americas that was built by us. And they're like, no, it showed black people inside the ancient pyramid murals that show, you know, the color of the people. And we like, nigga, it do the same thing and all to show black people as well. We also got ancient codexes that show us as well, my dude. Then they be like, no, we got statues that show our features and, you know, they give a good representation of what we actually look like. We're like, yeah, we do too. We got the same shit. Like, and like, no, we still got people today that still look like how, you know, the ancient Egyptians are said to have looked. We do too, like, what are we getting at here? Like, I still will never understand how a group of people do not believe the story of indigenous erasure when the same story has been told about indigenous erasure for Egypt. They say this is what Egyptians look like, but the ancient Egyptians really look like this. They say this is what the Aboriginal Americans look like, but they actually say the Aboriginal Americans look like this. Why is it so hard for y'all to understand a story that has been told before?
Walked in one by one, some hung their heads, others wore their feelings right there on their t-shirts. Today, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office announced an undercover operation they've been working on for months resulted in more than 100 arrest warrants and close to 40 arrests.
This is a huge problem, and we're like one of maybe 3 or 4 law enforcement agencies in the state of Florida that have decided to do something about this.
And it has to do with just that. Meal tickets in the form of EBT cards for low-income individuals being fraudulently used. One part of the investigation centered around Gerald Millis, a local restaurant owner who police say purchased EBT cards from people for 50 to 60 cents on the dollar, and then stocked his local Pizza Pros restaurant with food he bought using those cards.
We were able to determine that he used 53 different EBT cards at Sam's Club.
Police say 55 people were also caught illegally selling their EBT cards to undercover detectives.
A couple of them said, I'm headed to go get some rock cocaine.
A beyond frustrating reality for taxpayers who today learned their hard-earned money is being misused.
Check this out, y'all. When it comes to student visas, they're going to enhance social media screening. They want to tap into the digital footprint of immigrants. And y'all know how Africans, they be talking hella reckless on social media. They're going to be the ones under the most scrutiny. They're going to be under the most scrutiny. And the reason why I say that, people that's coming from high-risk countries, they already released that list, the 36 countries that's up for a possible travel ban. Out of those 36 countries, over 24 of those countries are African countries. And you know, Nigeria is on the list without a doubt. Even Haiti is on that list, right? But there are several other African countries, Somali, Ethiopia. Here's the list. Y'all could pause it. But yeah, so yeah, keep talking your shit. But anyways, Africans, don't stop now. Keep popping off. Keep popping your And if you're a foreign student trying to go to Harvard, you're going to be under scrutiny too. I don't know what Harvard did, but all eyes on them.
If I'm walking down the street and I see a black man with a white woman, there's a weakness in him.
I want y'all to hold on to that. She said that when she see a black man with a white woman, he's weak, right? Now let's see what she think when she see a black woman with a white man. What does she think about that? Because if he's weak, then she got to be weak too, right?
The other side, I think when I see a black woman with a white man, I think, oh, she must have got she's tired. Like she must have got so fed up that she's getting to rest now.
These are the same women that want to make the points of, oh, well, black men, they just want to be with white women because of proximity to power. They just want to seem like that they have a status and blah. You want to make all these points about black men with white women, but you don't see how that same thing applies to black women with white men. White men are the head of white supremacy. And you're telling me that she's not with him for power, quote unquote, to be in proximity to power? You think she's just resting? When it comes to this to the experiences of black men and black women. When black men talk about their experiences with black women, oh, they've done this, they've been disrespectful, my mother did this, black women never did, they always ostracized me, they always made fun of me, they never really liked me, they thought I was a nerd, they thought I was too lame, they thought I was corny, whatever. All of those excuses get diminished. But when it comes to black women, oh, well, black men ain't doing this, the black man ain't done this, the black man is disrespectful, the black man ain't protect me, but then the white man came in and he was just better. He was just a better man. Black women say it's valid. It's, oh, okay, yeah, you know what, that makes sense. Because these Negroes ain't shit. They ain't nothing. Both of them have a level of self-hatred within themselves and for their people, which is why they're dating out. That's it, across the board. That's the answer across the board. It's not no love is love. It's not that he's weaker and that she's empowered and that she's fine and solving this. No.
Oh, be my guest. Please prove me wrong. Prove my people wrong. Prove your daddy Trump wrong. See, we've been telling you that we're the Most High's chosen people. We've been telling you that these lands are ours. We've been telling you that the Most High have the covenant with our people, and if you want to try to avoid some of this judgment, you cleave to us. You bless us. We are sitting in great boldness, and we have been in great boldness telling you these things. And you don't want to listen. But now your daddy just told you the 14th Amendment and all of those perks that you guys have been enjoying, those were ours. And you've all worked together to make sure that we could not get any of these. Like I said, no please, no thank you when you got here. No please or thank you from any of you. So now the Most High made Trump go out here today, and he just told you that 14th Amendment that we've been using to give you everything, yeah, that wasn't meant for you. That was meant for the so-called black.
Question for both the President and the Attorney General.
I have never and will never identify myself as black. And I'll elaborate as to why I'm saying this, because this is needed in so you can pretty much understand that just because I look like you, that does not mean I identify myself as such. So for instance, sweetheart, I am Congolese.
Black Americans are right to be mad. They are. You see, us immigrants, country long enough, you should know that. The reason why we're here, the reason why we are allowed to be here is because of the work Black Americans did. Because of the sacrifices they did. Because all the fights they had to fight in order for us, for them, because they didn't do it for us, they did it for themselves, and it's right. But today we are enjoying the fruit of their labor. And we should not forget that. I'm an immigrant. And yes, in my community, or in the immigrant community, and nobody can say otherwise, is a lot of disrespect for African American. Being in this country, for the amount of time I have been here, if I act like I don't know that, it means that I'm willingly demeaning them. They are mad. And you know what immigrants should do right now? We should not be arguing with them. We should be quiet and listen. Many immigrant community call them lazy. They're not lazy. They even say they don't have a culture, and that's an insult. Of course they have a culture. Of course they do. In the music, in the food, in the way they live their life, in the way they dress, they have a culture. And by the way, a culture that is a leader in many ways. Our children in Africa dress like black children. Children in Asia dress like black children. Children in Latin America, in Europe. So please stop saying, and it's not only limited to clothing. It's in music, it's in history, it's in literature, it's in science. You're going to come to people's house and you want to look down at them? You want to disrespect them? No doubting the experience, no undermining the experience, no forgetting the accomplishments. To Black Americans, my brothers and sisters, I apologize. Without them, we will not be here. Without them, we will not have the opportunity we have here.
So let's talk dancing. Because most sacred, ancient people dance from their hips. They use their whole body. It starts in the hips, though. So let's see. Who's really who? And then you have the Europeans. Them Norwegians. Them Norwegian people. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. You see, all traditionally brown people dance alike. It's in our DNA.
Me, or when you say Africans, to me, when you say that, I think you speaking English. As me, as an African, when you say Africa, I know you speaking English. So first of all, Black Americans in US, whatever, okay, seems like you are a little bit confused about Africa and other stuff. Because when you say Africa, first of all, what you have to know that you speak in English.
You gotta know that.
So if you have any question, the question will be like, what Africans we call Africa? Okay. Now you know that Africa is not only one country. Okay. Africa is many countries. Okay. But every country have a name that they call Africa. Every country. Okay, every country have the name that they call Africa. Okay, for instance, what Ghana call Africa? Ghana call Africa a Bibli.
Whoa.
Okay, for instance,
one more time.
What Ghana call Africa? Ghana call Africa a Bibli.
A bliblim. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So right now, if you tell my mom, okay, my mom is old. If you tell my mom Africa, my mom don't know where Africa is.
Woo.
You don't know what is Africa. What is Africa?
His mom would know. His mom would not know. Y'all, come on, y'all. And you don't think that's an issue? And you over here in America talking about some Africa this, Africa that. And the people that we call Africans don't call Africa Africa. Nor do they call themselves Africans. You can't debunk that. That's coming out of their own mouth. Like, come on, bruh. You can't debunk it.
This idiot said, even if they did ask for money, they are just as entitled to it as black Americans. Huh? Bitches, you cool? Those of us over here that slavery did actually happen, that were actually taken from Africa, you do know how they got here, right? Like how it all started. You know that there were other Africans who stole them from other villages and sold them to the white people, right? You do know that, right? They stole them, then sold them. Baby, they got their money up front. The same way them fathers in Africa be selling their daughters off to be married today, it's still happening. Why the fuck would you be entitled to anything over here? And this just proves that the motherfuckers going over there building schools for y'all is really for nothing, because they're not teaching y'all shit. The transatlantic slave trade not only affect the people that were taken, but the people that were left behind also. Not only did they get some money up front, but they ready to collect off the back end. The fuck? This just did it for me. From here on out, I am telling. I just know that all them nieces and nephews that y'all be having in them salons are not all legal. I really should just book me a hair appointment and call ICE. Yeah, shit's laughable.
Alright, so look, black Americans are prisoners on our own land. We are not minorities. We are not immigrants, but we are prisoners of war on our own land. I know some of you already know this, but many of you don't understand that America is not just a country, but America is a war camp. It is a carefully constructed matrix of lies meant to design the truth about who we really are. And that truth is simple, that we are the indigenous peoples of this land, and that we are trapped in a false identity, and that we are essentially cosplaying somebody else's story. We are cosplaying being an American. Just think about that for a second. We are indigenous, pretending, cosplaying, acting. We are in this American uniform, this American mask. You have to realize that every system in America, from the media to the government, exists to erase the history of us as being the indigenous people of this land. They told us that we came here on slave ships, and it made us forget that many of us were already here, living as sovereign nations, long before Christopher Columbus ever got lost in the Atlantic. They reclassified our grandmothers and grandfathers. I know for a fact that my own grandmother used to have land in Oklahoma. I seen the deeds. There was this little bag she used to have all these scrolls in it that had deeds to this land. And all I can remember is before she passed, her mind started going a little bit, and I think she may have forgot to pay the taxes. Something had to do with the taxes. I don't know. It had something to do with the taxes. But not just that, she was getting letters in the mail from a Texas oil company over and over and over and over and over. And I think sure enough, the Texas oil company ended up getting that land that my grandmother had in Oklahoma. Not just that, but after doing some family research, my great-great-grandparents was in the Trail of Tears. So I know for a fact that they reclassified my grandfathers and grandmothers. What about yours? Not to mention that my grandmothers always speaks about being native or being indigenous all the time anyway. But you had the Washita, you had the Yamasee, the Creek, Choctaw, Blackfoot. You had all these indigenous tribes. They got reclassified. They got turned into Negroes. They got turned into coloreds. And then eventually, they got turned into African Americans. And that was not an accident. That reclassification was an act of war. It is a paper genocide that is meant to take away our birthright. It's meant to disconnect us from our land. And it's meant to take away our power. You see, once they took the land, they took the narrative. And once they took the narrative, they took the minds of our children. It's always something. We got street sweeper out here in the middle of the day. The street busy as hell here. Now all of a sudden, I want to sweep the street when I'm trying to make a video. So I'll tell you, it's always something in every video. Anyways. But yes, once they took the narrative, they took the minds of our children. Now all our kids know is this matrix. And they have no idea about their indigenous roots or culture. And even if we tell them, they don't get to experience it the same way they would if they were actually living it. It's just a thing that we tell them. But most of the time, these kids end up being more interested in the Matrix because the Matrix demonizes our history and our culture. This is mental warfare. This is how the Matrix works. It traps you in a false identity while making you believe that you are free. The late and brilliant Dr. Frances Cress Welsing warned us about this in the ISIS Papers. And I always bring up the ISIS Papers because that's one of my favorite books in my collection. But she taught that the entire structure of America is built on white supremacy, and this white supremacy is based on the fear of genetic annihilation. She said, and I quote, "White supremacy is not just an economic or political system. It's a genetic survival strategy. They know that melanated people carry the dominant gene. They know that melanin is the spark of life. Although they don't always want to admit it openly. They know. That's why this war isn't just about land or labor. It's about genetics. It's about genetic survival. Every policy, every law, every reclassification was meant to keep us as melanated indigenous people out of power, out of land ownership, and out of sovereign control of our own resources. Because they know the day we reclaim our identity, the day that we wake up and realize, holy shit, we are prisoners of war on our own land, then that is the day that their systems collapse. So yes, us as indigenous melanated peoples in this country, we are cosplaying America. We are wearing costumes called citizenship. And we are pledging allegiance to a flag that has waged war on us and our families for over 400 years. This entire society is like the Truman Show, a carefully designed set, a fake reality where we're the stars of a show that we didn't script. In fact, we don't even realize this is a show in the first place. But the reality is, from the moment we are born in America, they program us to believe that this is the only reality, that this is all there is to life. They make us think that the only thing we can do is go to their schools, learn their history, get their jobs, pay their taxes, and accept our own oppression quietly. In fact, they make it seem like it's normal in this Truman Show vibe that's going on here. They try to make it seem like our own oppression and our own reclassification is normal, when it's not. But there is a glitch in the system. And now the ancestors are screaming. Look around you. The storms, the hurricanes, the solar flares, and the earthquakes. This planet is alive, and it's reacting to the spiritual war being waged on the indigenous peoples of this land. Every hurricane that slams the Gulf, every wildfire that scorches the West, every solar flare that disrupts their satellites. These are not coincidences. These are ancestral cries. The Earth is literally mourning for what has been done to the indigenous peoples of this planet. And I think the Earth is giving us a message. Not just the Earth, hell, even the universe itself. There is a divine alignment. Hell, even the planets are lining up right now. Check that out. But the environment, the Earth, the universe, is telling us to wake up, to reclaim our home. We don't want no symbolic gestures. We don't want no tokenism. We don't want no reparations check with some kind of string attached that still keeps us bind and confined to this American matrix. No. We want our home. We want this land that was stolen. For too long, we've been tricked into believing that asking for justice is enough. That somehow voting or protesting or hell, even working twice as hard would somehow fix centuries of war waged against our people. But the truth is, no nation has ever been freed from begging. Sovereignty is not requested, it is reclaimed. America has turned our home into a prison. But prisons have gates. Prisons have walls. And these walls can be broken down once the people inside remember who we are. So I'm here to say this clearly. We, as the so-called Black Americans, are indigenous to this land that we call America. We are not prisoners by nature. We are prisoners of war by force. But no force can hold back a people who know who they are and whose they are. And the truth is, we don't need to go back to Africa because we're already home. We don't need reparations. We need restoration. And we deserve to have our home back. And no, not in a few reserved acres of land, not in handouts, but in full sovereign ownership, our terms. The ancestors are calling. The earth is responding. It is awakening. Now it's up to us to step up and to step out of this matrix and organize and strive for liberation and finally take back what is ours. Peace.
What up, y'all? I don't know if y'all keep up with African news, but Nigerians, they're the real Akatas, wildcats. They be everywhere but home, and they be everywhere wowling. Nigeria sent 50 future lawyers, doctors, and engineers to Ghana to do cyber fraud and to participate in human trafficking. Yeah, they're trafficking Nigerians over the Ghana border. Thousands of Nigerians a day coming over the Ghana border just to participate in crime, organized crime. Right? These self-proclaimed giants of Africa are really just the Kia boys of Africa. That's what they really are. The Ghanaians is really fed up with these future lawyers, doctors, and engineers because it's a crime wave out there. They a couple of weeks ago, they were arrested for monitoring people withdrawing large amounts of money from ATMs, and they will follow them, then break into their car and take their money. So this is an ongoing Nigerian Akata crime wave in Ghana. I stand with the Ghanaians, Nigerians, Akata go.
When them Nigerians think we jealous of them, this is Lagos, Nigeria.
Africans, we lie a lot as if we know where we're from. Most of us can't tell you 2 generations past where we are from. And I've had the privilege of traveling in Africa a lot as well. And my identity is ubiquitous. Right? Nobody could tell where I'm from by looking at me. When I'm in Nigeria, they think I'm Igbo. I could go to Ghana, they think I'm Ghanaian. The average Gambian may look at me and look at us and say, you don't look Gambian. I'm just African. So, and part of the book is there's a chapter I talk about life as a hyphen where I'm African. I think I'm from the western part of Africa. That's what I identify the strongest with, is my identity as an African. But I have a Gambian cultural background and heritage.
Give me time. I mean, it ain't like we didn't know. It ain't like we haven't been saying it. We all say, y'all don't know 1 or 2, 3 generations past where you from.
August 1st, that would be this Friday, we are doing a blackout against African businesses. Now, I've seen a lot of foundational Black Americans jump on here and say we shouldn't be boycotting the whole continent. And then some even say, well, y'all, we must be jealous. And how are we jealous? We're boycotting them because they are disrespecting us in our country. They are coming over here and calling us lazy. They are calling us disrespectful to them because we say that we are foundational Black Americans and we do not have lineage in Africa. That is what they are mad about. So they have taken to social media and started disrespecting us based on that. And you want us to patron businesses that disrespect us in our country. They came over here to make a better life for themselves based on the sacrifices from our ancestors. Ours. They wouldn't be here had Black people not put themselves in harm's way and lost their lives for the Civil Rights Act. They wouldn't be here profiting. They wouldn't be here disrespecting us. So y'all actually think you have the audacity to open your mouth. That's why I say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Because y'all sitting up here cutting for people who disrespect us. But y'all probably the same ones who let the people, the non-melanated, disrespect us. Well, it's not all of them. It's just some of them. 10,000 snakes. I'm not about to let them in my house just because I think 1,000 won't bite me to find out which 1,000 won't. So yes, blackout against African businesses, the boycott starting August 1st. Because you are not going to come over here when we already have it hell from other races of people in the country that we were born and raised in, and have people who aren't from here come here and disrespect us. Now, if it was somebody from a different continent that was an immigrant coming over here disrespecting us, y'all would be singing a different tune. But because they share melanin, y'all want to sit up and, well, maybe it's not so bad. Y'all have lost your minds. You're certifiable. When I say that we don't let anybody disrespect us, even people who look like us, that's what the hell I mean. And if y'all want to jump on board what we're going to do, y'all do what you want to. But do not convince us who have a good mind to say, hey, we ain't going to let nobody disrespect us. Stay out of our way. Because we can do what the hell we want. Y'all keep letting America and people who aren't American disrespect y'all. We're going to do what we do. Boycott, the blackout, August 1st against African businesses. And I don't give a damn who got a problem with it. I said what I said.
You know, I really don't understand why y'all keep trying to tell black Americans that we're African. Like, do y'all have something plotted for us or something? Like, is there something behind this? I don't understand why y'all aren't calling everybody else in the world African. Seems like y'all are only worried about us because y'all know we're the trending topic. We are the wave, we are the trend. There are millions of other black people in the world from different places, but y'all not pressuring them to say that they're African. They actually brought more Africans to Brazil and South America. So what, Brazilians are African now, people in South America are African now, black Russians are African now, black Irish are African now. Like, make it make sense. I am not African. Our food is different, how we dance is different, how we dress is different, how we talk is different, our music is completely different, our slang is completely different, even our genetics. A lot of us are mixed with indigenous or European. Like, we are not the same. Even our lineage is different. As a black American, I'm not worried about being deported, just like some Africans are, and that's no diss to them. And for the geographically illiterate people saying, oh, you look Ghanaian, you look this or this or that, and this or that. Well, I could say the same about Liberians and other Africans who came from America. They technically are us, and they look like us. So a lot of them Africans are American.
Plekla allegedly hated black people. So why is he standing right behind and right next to Marcus Garvey? Did you know in certain circles Marcus Garvey was referred to as the Marquis of Salisbury? Look it up. What is the Salisbury steak? It's not a steak at all. It's a bunch of substitute meats lumped together to make the appearance of an actual full steak. So now he done convinced all the original Mohawkins who had their castles, all the original Moors, American Indians, we already got our land, we won the Civil War, we ran the white people out, right? So then there's a coup d'etat in 1871, and then they set up the KKK to reinforce this doctrine that we're Negroes, blacks, colors, and because all of these white people have been thoroughly programmed through the Wild Wild West shows, right? And all of the other bullshit that they done been through, they think they justified to come over here and kill us and do the shit they don't.
Crazy beings. Like, y'all seriously are sitting here asking why is we just going after Africa? We are coming after all you motherfuckers. And for you Africans who think that we don't know that y'all got 54 fucking different places over in Africa because it's a continent. It's not a country, it's a continent. We don't fucking care. We don't fucking care. Just like y'all don't specify which state you're talking about with the United States, we're not going to be specific about which fucking country we're talking about with Africa. No, we're going to loop you all together just like you're looping us all together. See how that fucking works? See, y'all don't like it. Y'all want to point out, but we got this and we got that, and there's this and this and this inside of Africa. It's not just this one place. Yeah, there's also different places inside the United States, but when y'all talk about us, y'all just loop us all to fucking together. So then when we do the same back, it's a problem. Y'all are fucking insane. Not only that, but disgusting at the same fucking time. Leave our fucking shit alone. Y'all don't like us, leave us the fuck alone. Go back to your fucking country. You don't want to because it's a dirt path. And you have nothing there to build up. But yet y'all want to claim that y'all countries is so nice. Why the fuck are you running away from it then? Oh, Azrael, don't ask big questions. They ain't gonna be able to answer those. You love that country so fucking much, but yet you're running away. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. But hey, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video because like I said, I'm not trying to talk all day. I just wanted to bring the videos to my people so that my people, American Indians, / the ones who like to call themselves the FBAs, hey, I ain't got no hate against y'all. If that's what y'all want to be known as, foundational black Americans, that's what you are. Because we built this motherfucking country. I just know I'm original to this land. So my American Indians and my FBAs, that's who I'm talking to. All the rest of y'all can get the fuck off. I don't give a fuck. But hey, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe because every little click helps, and we thank you guys so much. And like I said, this boycott's for everybody. It's not just for you fucking Africans. If you're not FBA or American Indian, we on your eyes. But if you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like and click because every little click helps. And we thank you guys so much. But I've been your boy Azrael. This has been another episode of Azrael Reacts, and I'll check you guys next time. Deuces!